Just one goal as it ended 43-42. I'm Lynn Carpenter and I'm delighted to be joined again today in the commentary box by Suzanne Scouding, team manager for UAE. Suzanne, welcome.
Thank you, great to be back.
How are you and the team enjoying the netball this weekend?
Oh, it's been a great weekend, hasn't it? And our team are certainly pumped. They've had a lovely rest this morning after a major day yesterday, as you said, with 2 games on the trot, but really looking forward to today's game after this one.
And for those viewers who are joining us from anywhere in the world, you're very welcome. We're delighted with how many are tuning in, especially as we are competing with the Suncorp League this weekend. So Sue Gordon, if you are listening, thank you for your continued support. We will keep pushing our hashtag #WakeUpNetball so the world knows we're all here and we're all working really hard to get the messages about our sport out. We have 2 fantastic games for you today. First up is home side and our host Gibraltar taking on the Isle of Man. Both teams need a win after their last match, and the Isle of Man put in so much against the game with Ireland. Would it have taken a lot out of them, do you think, Suzanne?
It will have taken something out of them. They've got a really good bench though, haven't they? And yeah, I have to say that Isle of Man, I think, are going out the favourites today, but I do think Gibraltar are going to give them a really good game. They're up for it, I think, definitely.
And as you can probably hear, the crowd are welcoming the starting 7 for Gibraltar shortly to take to the court. So let me tell you that Gibraltar will be starting with goal shooter Ferrer, goal attack Pozo, wing attack Janice Marino, in at centre Joe Marino, wing defence Akano, goal defence Reyes, and their captain Bryony Ravino in at goalkeeper. Anybody there you think we should keep our eyes on, Suzanne?
I think that goalkeeper really we need to watch definitely, and Reyes really coming out for the fly, I think, on quite a few of those intercepts coming into the circle. But really those shooters, they've got a good eye, haven't they, for that goal. They don't miss. I haven't actually seen their shooting stats, but I think they're pretty high, to be honest.
So as we can see, the Gibraltar team taking to the court, and we will shortly be bringing you the starting 7 for Isle of Man. But for the Isle of Man, what an emotional game yesterday, 43-42, literally down to the last second, which you predicted in the third quarter. I still can't believe you did that.
I don't think I can either. I have to say it was a bit of a guess. I'm not going to say it's a lucky guess, because I know that our lovely Isle of Man, who are in it for the first time just as the UAE are, we've had some great catch-ups and become good friends on this, which has been fantastic, and they were gutted not to have come away with the win. But you know, at the same time, also equally really proud of their girls. First international cap for every single one of those girls on the team. So an amazing performance.
So let me tell you who is starting for the Isle of Man. In at goal shooter Swales, goal attack and their captain Ashley Hall, wing attack Craig Ryder, centre Johnson, Evans in at wing defence, for goal defence Storner, and goalkeeper Charmer. Our umpires today are Kate Stevens from England, Susan Foreman from South Africa, and our reserve umpire is James Thomas. So the umpires will shortly be getting this game here underway. Feels strange that we're only having 2 games today after the 4 yesterday.
It really does. It was a strange, quiet morning, and we had a lovely walk around sunny Gibraltar this morning, bumped into a lot of people from a lot of countries, stocking up on a bit of shopping, buying a few monkey charms out of the shops, which was quite interesting. But yeah, there was a nice vibe down there today, a bit of festival, a bit holiday light. There was a bit of dancing going on, of which all the teams were taking part in.
So here we go. Start of the 6th game here at the Netball Europe Open Challenge this weekend, and great feed into Swales by Ryder Clegg.
Nice confident start there, I think, by the Isle of Man. Struggling a bit to get the ball down there. Excellent defence there. Just a bit too much on that ball for Gibraltar.
Isle of Man have been hugely effective with their defending combinations.
They really have, and there was just a brief moment where they were struggling to look after the ball on turnover, but that turnover has turned out beautifully for them. So they're up
2-0. Their centre pass. But
that was a bit too confident.
Ray
Great
says, thanks
reading.
very much, I'm going to have that one back. Supporting well up the court too.
Nice reset there by Gibraltar and a great ball in.
Clara holds well.
Nice.
And there we go, 2 centre passes going against the order.
I think we've got a nice match on our hands here. Gibraltar have worked really hard for this. I mean, I think that, you know, you can say they're pretty successful already. What a great competition they've put on this weekend. Really international standard. All the teams have been treated amazingly. What a great volunteer structure they've had. So winners already, but they're not giving up on this court. They're going for it. Ooh, some early nerves on that ball, I think.
Yeah, Pozo will be disappointed. It's always disappointing when you don't put your first one away. I sense this is going to be a very tight, closely contested game again. We're delighted as well that we will be joined at half-time by the Minister of Sport, Stephen Linares, who will come and talk to us about their commitment to sport in Gibraltar and some of the exciting things, not only with the netball, but also sport in general and how the country is using that to really promote health and well-being for its residents.
It's lovely to see, actually. There's a real growth in Gibraltar at the moment. You can see all the construction going on. It's a nice goal there, equaling the scoreline for Gibraltar. But yeah, the Minister of Sport was took some time out of his very busy calendar to come and talk to everybody for the netball. So great supporter of sport in general, as you say, and definitely women in sport, and looking to host some pretty impressive competitions. It's nice to see, and it's nice to see that they're looking at how they can do that and how they can improve on facilities, and lots of promises of some nice indoor venues I heard going out yesterday. The netball, Moira certainly looked very delighted.
Yeah, we'll be getting an interview with Moira Gomez, President of Gibraltar, later on this afternoon. But right now, very tight as we expected. Isle of Man 3, Gibraltar 2. Great drive there by Pozo. Very composed for such a youngster.
She is. Pozo going off to Leeds Uni, I believe, next year. So
she is.
Young girl.
If any of the Super League teams are watching this, they might very well be thinking of an approach.
This would be a great moment to do some scouting, for sure. Inspiring too to some of the young netballers that they've got coming up, and I know they've got a great under-17 squad that we'll look forward to seeing later this year in October. And it must be great for them to see the pathway that's been created by Moira out here in Gibraltar.
It has indeed, and I've been fortunate to be involved with Netball Europe long enough now to have seen some of these players come through a decade ago at under-17 level for Gibraltar, and seeing them now as full seniors is really pleasing.
Well, she got that turnover. That was some remarkable defence there. Controversial, crowd not liking it. Mistake though. Do you know, sometimes it's interesting, isn't it, when you've got the home crowd baying, it's quite difficult to block that out.
Yeah,
so I think Isle of Man are going to have to work on that.
Well, we'll talk about the crowd being the 8th player in the team.
Nice quick ball in there.
Well, missed by Hall, very competitive. The umpires just need to perhaps encourage the team to keep it down, keep it clean.
Yeah, that's a big role for the umpires today. You know, they've got a very clear pathway. It was a bit of a late tackle there by Evans. And it is important the umpires take control of this to make sure it doesn't get out of hand. And players are just going to push until they know where they can stop.
Now we have to keep reminding ourselves that for the Isle of Man and most of these players, this is only their 3rd test match ever. They'll be feeling their legs probably, and some of the lateness of their movement may be down to lack of experience at this level.
Absolutely.
Rather than anything deliberate.
Yeah, I think there's some real tired bodies out there. I don't know what it's like over here in their local leagues, but certainly out in the UAE, there's a real time limit, and obviously heat is a major issue. Nobody plays a full hour game. Everybody plays 4 12s. that's when you're coming to play a full hour game, that's a considerable difference on the body. So our girls aren't used to playing that on a regular basis. So that's gonna start telling. There's quite a few blisters on toes this morning, and I'm sure that's not unique to the UAE. Some real patience on that ball there from Gibraltar. Yeah. Oh.
Very well read though by Storner again in at goal defence. Still very close. Isle of Man 4, Gibraltar 3. Just over 6 minutes gone in this first quarter here this afternoon.
The crowd enjoying that one. Level pegging.
Great pressure by Gibraltar. Kano.
They're making it difficult for them to get a front side, aren't they?
Yep. Play a slightly different style, Gibraltar, to perhaps Isle of Man are used to. Very effective pressure around that body.
Oh, great ball placement there. Good confident drive. She gets another pop at that one though.
Great shooting by Pozo. 5-all. I'll be pleased with that on their centre pass. Oh, just feeling the pressure today. Some more uncharacteristic errors creeping into the Isle of Man
There really
side.
are. We didn't really see that yesterday, did we?
No.
Oh, that's an error. That's quite costly, isn't it? Because that was a great turnover. And we were saying yesterday, weren't we, how important it was once you turn the ball over to look after it, treasure that ball.
Good reactions there by Swales, finding a hole under the post. Gives them a narrowest of leads, 6-5. We've got just 7 minutes to go now to the first quarter break. Great ball. Great interplay between the two Marino sisters.
Gets another shot at that one.
Oh, that's going to go in. Brilliant shooting.
Great shooting.
Great reading of the ball then by Ravino, captain of Gibraltar. Came around the right side completely. Swales making it difficult for them to feed the ball in.
Bit of obstruction going on there. Just forgotten she's out of play. That excited.
Swales. 7-6. Gibraltar centre pass. Oh, that was great reading of that pass by Johnson. Had a really good game yesterday.
She really did. I think she's stalwart for the team.
So great. There's that defending we were just talking about from Gibraltar's perspective. We're going to want to
lovely right on the
finish
circle.
this.
That's a lovely feed in. Great play. Gibraltar, they just keep getting better and better, Gibraltar. It's great to see.
I'm not sure I want you in the commentary box anymore, Suzanne, because all the games are so close when you're here.
Don't ask me to predict today's, please. I got a massive kudos out of it there, I'm not going to lie, yesterday. Quite a few people, wow, what a prediction. How did you know that?
I hope you told them I wrote it down on a bit of paper and showed you what it was going to be.
Of course I did not. It's a converted goal, yeah.
So nothing at all to choose between these sides as we enter the last 5 minutes of this first quarter. Isle of Man narrowly leading Gibraltar 8-7, but Gibraltar centre pass here. Can they do it? Oh, just missed fair under the post. It's going to go a bit short. Oh. What a rebound.
How did she do that? That's amazing. They're going to need to look at that defensive side going in for that rebound though. They were really good on their rebounds, Isle of Man, before, so that's something I'll have to look at.
Never underestimate a shorter goal shooter than you.
Frustrated.
Great defence
people
by
that tend to jump more.
Definitely. Reyes and Ravina putting huge amounts of pressure in that circle on. Ineffective again. Calm by Swales. 9-8.
Yeah, a lot of work going on there by the centre. Resetting. Oh.
Good competition there between Johnson and Marino.
Great example of contest as opposed to contact. That's quite a controversial one, isn't it?
Going to have a pop. Confidence in this youngster. 9-all. Just over 3 minutes to go in this first quarter.
Oh yeah, great read, great take, really solid landing, but overshoots.
Yeah, Marino very sensibly playing the senior leadership role there. Calm down, take your time. They've been here before.
That was unlucky by the goal defence. It's really important to have a leader like that on court, calm it down when necessary. That was great advice, and they've got the turnover, they're ahead.
And their centre pass, so Gibraltar now lead Isle of Man 10-9. Really good pressure there by Isle of Man, not giving an inch. Good pick up by Marino.
Yeah, great placement of the ball.
So, first glimmer of a gap. 2 minutes to go. Gibraltar 11, Isle of Man 9. Oh, very well held there by Ryder Clegg.
Good shield there. Narrowing it even more.
Paul taking responsibilities in her captain role. Saw her out at centre yesterday as well against Ireland.
It's great to have depth in your players on court, knowing that you've got lots of different options. And like you say, everyone has a different style of netball, so it's important to be able to change things up. Another great goal, maintaining their lead.
So who is going to blink first? Oh, there we go. O'Connor flying out for an interception.
They are a strong defensive unit.
Another unforced error. Making sure she sets correctly. So frustrating for coaches when you win a turnover and give an unforced error away.
It really is. It's the thing that they always want the stats on, like where is it going wrong, what have we done, look after it, don't panic. But you know, the adrenaline on that court is difficult, and like you say, for so many of these girls it's the first international cap, so that's difficult, isn't it? Yeah, Gibraltar had a goal of being in the top 3 here, so they're working on that goal, aren't they? Great shielding there, allowing the ball to go in, and another goal.
And that now takes the gap. And Pozo again, take your time. She knows what's on the clock. She knows they've got seconds left. They want to get it in though. There's always that temptation. Oh.
Can they do this in 10 seconds? No matter what.
15 on the clock now. 13-10. What's the Isle of Man going to do? They're going to give it to Swales. Who
it's an obstruction call,
wins
I think,
a penalty. Just don't want to give the opposition that chance on your own centre pass. Not how Gibraltar would have possibly wanted to finish that quarter, but as the teams head to the break, Gibraltar on a narrow lead, 13 goals to 11. Wow.
I think they're going to take quite a bit of confidence from that, to be honest with you. Obviously, I think there we can have a look now at the huddle. It looks like there's going to be a few changes going on. Coach is just looking at that defensive line up there for the circle, where they're really not being able to get that front position and take the ball off of Gibraltar. So potentially some changes, or just a bit of coaching advice.
So it looks like interesting. We talked yesterday about different bench craft.
We did.
And Isle of Man doing it very differently. Obviously it works for them.
They've got some great staff there, though, haven't they? They've got Rob from Manchester Thunder, who's the youth coach over there, who joins them on a regular basis as part of their coaching team. So they've got quite a nice big team there that they're able to talk to. So obviously that works for them, splitting it out that way. I did talk to Deb Jones about that yesterday, and she's like, no, this is the way we do it. There is no other way.
Deb Jones being inflexible and having only one view, I find that hard to believe, Suzanne.
You know her well, Lynn.
So if there are any changes, and it's not looking particularly like at this moment in time, probably not surprising, game so close, we'll bring those to you clearly as soon as the bench officially hands them to us. As you can see there, a full crowd here in the Victoria Stadium in Gibraltar. Huge support from many of the teams, many travelling fans. I know yourselves from the UAE have fans who've travelled, Isle of Man, clearly Gibraltar. Great to see such support.
It is. It's lovely for the home nation to be able to bring their local schools in, and I saw some great support yesterday. Obviously they've got a lot of people around doing the ball girl work, part of their netball community, but everybody coming in and having a look at what they could aspire to be. Great to see that kind of support on this small island, really. To see the stadium packed today is really exciting, and that's going to really boost the Gibraltar team, I think, having that support there. Lots of flags, lots of monkeys in the audience.
and of course we know that Gibraltar is a relatively small country. I think population's 34,000.
Yes.
5% of the women and girls play netball already, and through Moira and her team, Suzette, Jerry, all the wonderful volunteers here, they're working really hard to extend that, their youth leagues. The biggest challenge, and I'll talk to Stephen Linares when he joins us, is about court time. There's so much demand for sport. Just getting court time is a massive balancing act for the Minister of Sport.
It really is, and I think in a small place like this, when you don't have very much square footage, it's very difficult to have multiple sports venues available to accommodate all the sports. So he was talking about that yesterday, and I think a promise of some new facilities, which was met with a mighty roar, big cheer. And that's the thing that you need, and it's quite a warm country as well, so you need an indoor facility, and if you're going to be training at international level, you can't do that on an outside court. You need a proper floor. I mean, we're really lucky to be playing on such a fantastic surface, and not only playing on the surface, we've also got the warm-up court that is of equal quality, so the players are really lucky. And actually we were talking to our players yesterday saying that it was really lovely to be playing on a sprung floor. We don't get that in the UAE at all.
So something for you to
aspire to. Yeah, very much
to go away,
so.
Talk to government in the Emiratis about how it happens elsewhere, and it'll give them an insight to what netball is, hopefully, now with the live streaming too.
I think so, very much. I think everyone's going to be watching this, so they're on high alert, and we've got great aspirations for what we want for netball. But here we go, we're about to start the second quarter.
So as you can see from the players retaking to the court there, no changes at this stage, probably not a surprise. Both teams sticking with their starting 7 lineup.
No surprise there, I think, and a nice confident start from the Isle of Man. Straight to goal, that's what you want to see as a coach. And it's really going to be about, let's just do the basics right. Nothing fancy, we just got to get the ball in. That was good defence though. A little bit static there from Gibraltar in the attacking end.
So early turnover for the Isle of Man, 13-12. Gibraltar still lead. Equally good defence behind Gibraltar. Talk about unit defence and working together. That was a really good example, closing down all the space.
It really was, and it's something that we really liked. I think it's the most effective type of defence. That was a great little front cut there, pop out.
Oh, great rebound by Farah.
Absolutely amazing. She's really quite a phenomenal young girl.
So 14-12. Gibraltar lead. Isle of Man's centre pass.
Bit of confusion there on the centre pass, but they've got away with it. It's crowded there, isn't it? That's better. Nice long ball.
Just slight misunderstanding between Ryder Clegg and Swales.
You're seeing more use of that bounce pass in mid-court that you never used to see. I don't know, well, did you used to see it that much, really, when you were playing?
Oh. I always hoped I didn't see them because I was too slow to get down to them, if I'm being perfectly honest.
I seem to remember in centre court, it was always something that, it's like, well, you certainly w't be seeing a bounce pass in centre court. That's just going to be popping into the circle. But you're seeing it used, but a really powerful bounce pass. So I think the game's changed, isn't it?
And really effective. There's another one. It's just another dimension of the game. The aerial game's not on. Use some other aspect of the court. Very clever.
Timing.
1-2. Perfect timing. What a great start by Gibraltar.
Yeah.
Leading 16-12 in this quarter.
Some real magic there with Pozo and Ferrer. I think, really working off each other, knowing where each other are going to be. That was really lovely to see. And Isle of Man putting a swing in there. And again, just a bit too much on that ball. A little bit of lack of communication. It's going wrong in that pocket, isn't it?
Yeah, it's interesting in this stage of the competition. Teams have played a number of times now. Isle of Man were fortunate to only play one game yesterday, just the way the draw happened. Great play there again. Ferrer and Pozo knowing where each other are.
Just a few nerves under that post there. But they've maintained possession and great on that circle edge.
Yeah, just opens
Not
up.
frightened to let it out. She's clearing.
And she's not afraid to put those long ones up.
She's really not. And she's got good shooting stats on those long bombs. Like to see her playing fast five.
Yeah, there you go. There's the challenge for Gibraltar to aim for. Oh my goodness. So Pozo sinks 2 long bombs, takes the score 18-12. Isle of Man really need to dig in now. Only scored 1 goal this quarter so far. Lovely.
Oh, that was great. They've got depth in their squad though. They're not going to be overly worried right now. Got a couple of players warming up there on the bikes courtside. It's really a professional service that we've got here in Gibraltar. There's so many things that you wouldn't expect. I know this is international, but we're the challenge section and you wouldn't expect some of these luxuries, and we're really being treated like top international players and teams. It's great for the girls.
Well, our philosophy is that you are all top international players, and it should be no different. Performance sport is performance sport.
And that is fantastic to have, it really is. So just stepping into this arena is filling the girls with a lot of confidence, and a couple of that's a lovely goal. A couple of our girls yesterday going, I've had so many new likes on Facebook and friend requests, and I feel I'm a little bit famous. I just think that's just so lovely, isn't it?
But isn't it nice that their skill and what they've achieved is being recognised in that way? Because it is. Let's not underestimate. When you pull on a dress for your country, it is one of the most amazing achievements that anyone can aspire to doing. So let's never underestimate how much it means to these teams, but also to those people who aspire to be like them. They are role models with no shadow of a doubt.
Absolutely.
And as you can see, Isle of Man have come back strongly. Gap down to 3. What will Ferrer do here?
Sink a good shot, maintaining that 4-goal difference.
19-15.
Oh, we've got a timeout here.
Ryder Clegg indicating she needs to come off. So who will we see joining the court?
So the players have got 30 seconds, haven't they, to make this change, and obviously any other changes could happen in this injury time. And you can see that happening right now, the quick switch.
Well, we've got to get on.
Yeah.
We haven't got her bib on. So we see that Hall has now gone to wing attack. And we've got new goal attack on. Very tough in there. The Gibraltar defence really, Ravino doing her best against the two players.
Gibraltar taking the ball up the court there again. Oh, nice.
Good challenge by Johnson though. Just a bit too much there.
So possession for the Isle of Man. Just checking, setting that with the umpire, which is another thing that you don't always see in all of your local leagues. So lots of things for the girls to get their heads around. Yeah, lovely from the goal shooter, clearing a space. Obstruction call. So let's see what they do with this. Storner getting the crowd appreciating that, I think.
Yeah, they've just got to look after the ball, but not like that. They won't.
Oh, a great chant that we can hear in the background there. That's going to raise the girls' spirits, definitely. And, similarly at the same time, that's going to make it quite hard for the Isle of Man, and that's something that they're potentially not used to. So very difficult, great tip, but unfortunately coming from outside of the court there by Pozo. So it's Isle of Man ball.
So Pip Cross, president of Isle of Man, who joined us yesterday in the commentary box, was saying that not only have these players not played internationals or when it's been live streamed, but they've not played in front of crowds.
Absolutely.
So the whole experience is massively different for them. That's great defending there.
It is. It's a really, the Isle of Man team is a homegrown squad, and a couple of them sort of have gone off to uni, sort of like play in the UK potentially, but really all of their netball's played on the tiny island of the Isle of Man, and they're not going to have crowds like this on their games, and it's their first international cap. So very well done to them for having come out in such an incredible way with such remarkable netball.
So Charmer putting a lot of pressure on Farah, forcing her out. Poser says that's fine, I'll take the ball, thank you. Gibraltar 20, Isle of Man 16. We've got 6.5 minutes left now of this second quarter until we hit half time. Locano and Reyes there working hard. Still huge amounts of pressure all down the court.
They really are, and they may have a 4-goal lead, Gibraltar, but this has not been made easy. Isle of Man are definitely piling on the defence, but what do you do when you can sink a goal like that? Pozo, amazing. And it's their centre pass. So going to have to work on this defence.
So this is the second time now that Gibraltar have had a 5-goal gap and their centre pass. Isle of Man turned over the last one, and Charmer getting there almost again cleanly round for the interception, but not quite. Farah really holds an effective
She really does,
position.
doesn't she?
Oh my goodness.
That shooting action is textbook perfect.
22-16.
Taking back to go forward, not afraid to do that. That shows confidence in the team. And yeah, look after it. That's what they need to do, and that's what they're doing. That's great stuff by Isle of Man.
Lots of patience there, working the ball around, looking for that space, but pressure, they just can't see it into the
perhaps
post
a
there.
Slightly quicker ball from the circle edge would have worked in there. But they've got
Cassidy.
the possession. Bit of contact there, yeah. Another
Ravino,
proper goal.
no, yep. Good acknowledgement. But thank you, we'll have the rebound. Great reactions by the players. Advancing the ball, indication by the umpire that
she's not going to have any of that.
Thank
you very much.
Yep. She's in
Rightfully
charge.
so. Good swing, slight offside, but
Pozo's won the penalty down here on the baseline against Storner. Oh. So double the scoring of Gibraltar against Isle of Man this quarter, 10 please 5, which means that we've got a 23-16 game on our hands here. Suzanne?
This is very interesting. I think I did say at the beginning, didn't I, that I thought Isle of Man were were the favourites on this, and you know they've still got it in them, and they have got a very experienced bench, and we can see some of their players warming up there, definitely. I wonder who. I think Keeling maybe was definitely warming up, so wouldn't surprise me if she was gonna come on. But you know, again, you can't underestimate the pressure of playing at an international level. This is big time sport, isn't it? And when you're doing it for the first time, it's tough.
So Keeling, as we know, if she does come on, was hugely effective yesterday when Isle of Man played Ireland. Really made Jan Hines, with all her 80-odd caps of experience, work extremely hard.
She really did. She made it very difficult. Interesting player, just sticks like glue.
Poser making herself available every single opportunity, not afraid to take the ball, but Chalmers saw that coming. Oh, offside, unfortunately.
That is unfortunate and difficult. Your defence working so hard.
That's not going to fall for them this time.
Isle of Man coming away with the ball.
Just signs of a few nerves out there, perhaps. 2.5 minutes to go now until half-time. Gibraltar leading 24 goals to 17.
Yeah, really taking quite a commanding lead here. And as much as there's a few mistakes coming out of the Isle of Man team, it is really difficult, isn't it, to get that momentum back again. And the converse way of that is that I think Gibraltar are just really raising their game, because so many exciting things are happening. Goals are going in and players are getting really enthused by that and feeling more and more confident. So it is a psychological game, isn't it? You've got to have your head in it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great.
A nice early release. Will it fall? It will do. Cassidy.
That's good. Now that's going to boost their confidence, and they're going into a centre pass, so great to see for the Isle of Man.
Paul's got such a great vision into that circle.
Lovely. Great hands, straight up. And again, so 2 on the trot, that's going to really help, isn't it?
So it closes the gap to 5, 24 against 19.
Good control there. Paul not going offside, taking the ball out again.
Great
this is a turnover, isn't it?
All of a sudden, the ball literally swings. We're back down to 4.
3 goals unanswered, and Ray's there just asking for a bit of calm.
So less than a minute now until half-time. We'll see which of the two teams recognises the time restraints. Unlucky there by Rays.
Nice goal. That's narrowing the lead a little bit. They'll take a lot of confidence from that. But I'm sure Gibraltar are going to come fighting back.
Good pressure.
Just a bit of contact, I think, maybe on the outside of the circle there.
The circle, looks like it. Nice use of the bounce pass we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, very
important goal there, wasn't it, for Gibraltar? 25-21, we're into the last 10 seconds. Now, are they going to get the ball in the court? Get it in?
Have to put a long ball in. No, they're going to run out of time now, I think, unfortunately.
She's going to hoof it. Oh, she went... Oh! It won't count, sadly.
Indicating
the crowd disagreeing with that decision, as you'd expect them to.
But look what that's done. The faces of those Gibraltar girls, they're all smiles, and the coaches. That's incredible.
Oh my goodness. So at half-time here in Gibraltar, with Gibraltar on the court, the score is 25 to the hosts and Isle of Man 21. What a game so far.
Amazing. Just such confidence from the Gibraltar side, and finishing it off. You know, they're winning the ball, they're keeping the ball, they're turning it over, and they're converting it into goals. What more could you ask for from a netball team? Isle of Man coming back there, 3 goals unanswered at one point. I think we've not seen the last of the Isle of Man. They're obviously having a good team talk here, and I wouldn't at all be surprised if we saw a few changes from that bench.
Both quarters so far have been really evenly balanced. 13-11 to Gibraltar in the first quarter.
There was just a brief moment where they were struggling to look after the ball on turnover, but that turnover has turned by Gibraltar, and a great ball in.
Farah holds well. The country is using that to really promote health and well-being for its residents.
It's lovely to see, actually. There's a real growth in Gibraltar at the moment. You can see it there, a great under-17 squad that we'll look forward to seeing later this year in October.
Quarter here this afternoon.
And the crowd enjoying that excited.
Swales.
So, converted goal, yeah.
It's going to go a bit short. What a run.
How did she do that? They're working on that goal, aren't they? Great shielding there. Allowing the ball to go in, and another goal.
No changes at this stage, probably not a surprise. Both teams sticking with their starting 7 lineup.
You're seeing more use of that bounce pass in mid-court that you never used to see. I don't know, well, did you used to see it that much, really, when you were playing?
Oh, there's another one. You know, it's just another dimension of the game. The aerial game's not on. Use some other aspect of the court. Very clever.
Timing.
1-2. Perfect timing.
Right. They've got depth in their squad, though. They're not going to be overly worried.
What Farah do here?
Sink a good shot. Maintaining that with such remarkable netball.
So Charmer putting a lot of pressure on Farah, forcing her out.
She really does, doesn't she?
Oh my goodness.
That shooting action.
Baseline against Storner. Oh.
So it is a psychological game, isn't it? You've got to have your head in it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
great.
a
nice early release. Will it fall? It will do. Cassidy.
That's good. Now that's great hands, straight up. And again, so 2 on the trot, that's going to really help.
Great.
This is a turnover, isn't it?
All of a sudden,
the circle there.
Circle looks like it. Nice use of the bounce pass we were talking about earlier. The countries, they've been amazed by the professionalism of the event this weekend. Suzanne, who's in the commentary box with me, was just saying it's just the standard of international provision here is amazing. I said, well, that's what countries like Gibraltar can literally do.
Yes, I mean, Gibraltar has for many years as well hosted small countries like basketball. We've done tournaments of hockey, you know, so that we are in a way experienced about doing this. But look, netball has cropped up very recently, only in the last 10, 12 years, and they've learnt a lot from the others. And I'm really pleased that that you think, and the netball fraternity think, that all the volunteers here are doing a great job.
They're doing an absolutely outstanding job on your behalf. I can absolutely guarantee you that. And we're delighted to be back in Gibraltar, as I said to you yesterday. We're looking forward to bringing more competitions here to Gibraltar. And we know that you and Moira and the team here have a huge ambition. Know the government are looking to host the Island Games next year, which will be fantastic. And we're encouraging through you to put a bid in for the World Youth Netball Cup, which would be in 2025. So we've offered and will continue to do, Stephen, support from the Netball Europe family to help make that happen. What an incredible opportunity to bring something like that here to Gibraltar.
Well, the Netball Europe and Netball internationally can rest assured that should we get the bid, like we always do, the government will be behind it. So because we value this. Some other governments elsewhere might not value it, but we do, and therefore it is very important not only to back our society, but like I said before, it's good for the economy, good for the image of Gibraltar. Gibraltar traditionally by people are seen like, you know, anybody you ask, do you know about Gibraltar, they'll say the monkey, or they'll say, oh yes, a British base. But there's much more to Gibraltar than that. There is 32,000 people living here and a very vibrant community. And this tournament shows the character, the identity of the people of Gibraltar.
And it's an amazing credit, as I said, to you all in Gibraltar. One of the things we struggle with in our sport is commercial interest, as you know. And I think Moira and the team have been working hard to get commercial support. Clearly they have the support of the government, which is important. But if we were to make a joint plea to businesses, individuals, organisations here in Gibraltar, what would you be saying to them about involving themselves in what is, the most important, probably globally, sport for women and girls?
Well, the message that I always put to what we call the private sector in getting involved in sport is that, look, we are here now, live streamed, many people are listening, the platform is here, and therefore they could, have products introduced to people who might not have known about them.
Absolutely.
So I'm telling the private sector, look, get involved, get behind all sports, and in this case, netball, because your products, your whatever you are selling will be exposed to the world. You are already doing that here.
And absolutely, I can absolutely add to that by saying that the live stream is going out and reaching people across the netball globe, Australia, New Zealand, the Far East. We have people in USA, Canada, the Caribbean, all able to tune in. So this isn't just a regional opportunity. If you want to take your products globally, here's the chance to do so.
Absolutely. I mean, we do many other events that are televised. We have Sky, Eurosport, live streaming, which is now becoming the norm, and many people watching. And obviously there is a fraternity of each sport, and there is a captive audience out there. So I say to the private sector, get involved, because you will do well out of it.
Well, Stephen, if they're not listening before, they will be now. Thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy the second half. It's going to be an incredible game here.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming down. So, as you can see, the teams have now retaken the court. The umpires are shortly to bring the ball back into play. Gibraltar leading 25-21 against the Isle of Man. It's been an incredible game so far, and we're just about to head into the second half. We'll bring you the official changes shortly.
We can see a change in defence as we thought, but yeah, wait for those official changes to come through. And they've picked the ball off again.
So here come Gibraltar. Finding Farah. Nice 1-2. So Keeling on, as we can see, at keeper again for the Isle of Man.
Not quite finding the goal this time. That's not been the case in the first half. I'm sure it's only just for this one goal. Keeling getting the ball out, and a nice long ball into the centre third there.
So slight misunderstanding there. Sean not quite ready for that one. So Gibraltar have a third attempt to get off the mark in this quarter. So no changes for Gibraltar. They're sticking with their starting seven.
Why would you? It's working.
Pozo. Oh, just unfortunate those first couple of shots.
Coming away with possession though. Contact call there by Hall. Or from Hall.
As we can see, Hall's gone back to the position she was in the game yesterday against Ireland. Centre. Oh, yeah. Swapped around with Johnson now wing attack. Just some early nerves here. 2 minutes gone and no score so far. Great visionary ball there by Marino. And this time it will fall for Pozo.
Great goal.
Should be glad to get that one put away.
Yeah, I think when you come back after an interval, it's always important for those shooters to sink that shot, isn't it? Equally, Swales will be happy with that one.
So 26-22. Oh. Ferret keen to get that one off. The home crowd's going to enjoy that.
I think so. Very definite about whose possession that was.
I guess at this level as well, teams like Gibraltar will be used to that. Isle of Man may not be quite so much.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, what a great interception there.
Doing what she does best. That is incredible.
Flying interception by Rays, bringing the ball down. Just going to look after it. Nice ball.
Right, she gets another pop at that one.
This time puts it away. 28 against 22. Gibraltar centre pass.
Still a very close thing, isn't it, in netball? It's just a couple of turnovers, and it's just score off your own. Keep
Simple
possession.
game.
It is. If only, eh? Keeling trying her best, but
He has got a really good, strong reach on her. But Pozo will say, circle's mine, I'm going to put it up from anywhere.
absolutely sinking that shot. Great confidence.
Oh, possibly too much there. Ravina had Swales pinned to the back line.
Yeah, probably would have been better to swing that ball back. Off balance there, feeding. It has to be inch perfect, doesn't it, into the circle.
Nice ball down the court to Janice. Oh. What a great interplay between Pozo and Ferreira.
Oh yeah, that is mine, she says. Making no bones about that.
So Isle of Man trailing by 7.
Great long ball and just kept it in, landing on the line, which of course is part of the court, in case you were wondering. We get that in junior netball quite a bit. If it's on the line.
Is that how they say it, in that voice?
Just like that. Perhaps screaming a little bit more if it's the parents that are saying it. Little word there.
Well, umpires pulling over both captains, just to have a brief word. I assume they're just asking them to clean up the game. Interestingly,
quite a few words, I'd say.
Yeah.
And teams being called over by their captains.
It's interesting.
So captain's job to relay that back to the rest of the team and make sure that they all...
Now, Gibraltar really back on. Now, I wonder what's actually being said in there. Now, if I was captain, how would you play that? Or if you were captain, would you going, right, we've got them on the rail here, we're really putting pressure on them, this is good, which is what it seemed to be from Gibraltar's position.
It really did, and I think literally coming out of that huddle first with a big whoop and a cheer.
Oh, and there we go.
It's all part of the game, and like I say, it is a psychological game as well. Sport at this level is, isn't it? You've got to be able to...
Unlucky Swales, didn't quite get the ball in. Good control by Gibraltar coming down the court. Great ball, blindside there into Ferrer. So Isle of Man bring it away. Great feed into Swales by Johnson. So the score here, 30 Gibraltar against Isle of Man 24. They'll be pleased with that so far.
They will, and actually that's quite a considerable gap. But like I say, I mean, it can turn, and we saw Isle of Man earlier just get 3 goals on the trot, and you know, that's a turnover. That's looking after their centre pass, and that's what they've got to do. But you know, Gibraltar want this. They're putting in goal after goal. They are looking after their centre pass.
So 6-1 to Gibraltar so far this quarter.
That's very different, isn't it, from the other quarter we've seen? As you said, it was quite close.
So Isle of Man still with possession.
Yeah, that was a great feed in. Well taken. Oh, unlucky. Goal shooter going up for that ball, but they're retaining possession.
So they'll get another chance through Cassidy. Oh, nice choice. So 31 against 25. Oh, good rebound by Cassidy.
And they've got it. That's what they need. They just need to get some good goals in to take some confidence.
So all of a sudden, I was going to say the Isle of Man are back.
I was going to say exactly the same thing. They have still got some players on their bench there, and particularly that wing defence that played yesterday.
Great feed again by Marino finding Ferrer. Oof.
Oh, not able to hold on to that, but
that will be
contact,
yep.
And that's just Keeling just reaching around, and as a defender you just got to get your feet round, not your arms wrapped around your player. Yeah,
nice.
That's a great
interchange by the two shooters. And Pozo,
they're getting the job done.
32-26.
Leaves the competition wide open, doesn't it?
Oh, this is going to be another close one. I think the crowd here will be hoping it goes Gibraltar's way.
Well, they're
support.
certainly making it look as if it is going to be that way.
Good take by Ferrer. Keeling perhaps just not readjusting the distance.
It does vary, doesn't it, that distance call, and you know, players often, defenders, look down with indignant faces at their umpires when they believe they have got that distance, and you just got to readjust as a player. You know, these umpires have a million decisions to make a second, and they perhaps don't always get it right, but they try to be as consistent as possible. The players just have to adapt to them. That's great for the Isle of Man.
So Swales scores again, keeps that pressure on so the gap doesn't extend too much. Still 6 in it, 33-27. And I have to say we are very fortunate to have some of the world's best umpires here with us this weekend, which we really appreciate. We always say netball's a team effort, and that's absolutely true. We genuinely believe that, and Team White is equally as important as anyone else in our sport.
Oh, it really is. Oh, keeping it on. Well done.
Great
picking up
reaction.
that ball, but
so which way is that going to go?
I think that's gone Isle of Man's way. Yeah, umpire clearly indicating that just out of screenshot, but yeah. So that was a confident ball in there, wasn't it? Oh,
Cassidy offence against Ravino in there. So close. What a great ball.
That was a lovely feed.
Oh, and that was an amazing shot. So, confidently, 3.5 minutes left until three-quarter time, 34 against 27. What have the Isle of Man got to do here now to stop the gap?
Yeah, they're going to have to do soul searching and having a look at what they can put together. They can do this. They can actually do this. They've got breadth in their squad. But you know, we don't know all the ins and outs. They might have some really tired legs and maybe some injured players. Like we've said, it's the first international. Oh, look at that! And they're going to take some inspiration and confidence from that. So flying up the court, they've got to look after it, and they are. Look at that, sensible play, lovely front position from the goal attack.
Cassidy looking for the shot. Unfortunate, out of court. So
that is going to be hard. They needed that goal.
They did indeed. Still 6 in it. As we know, that's only 3 turnovers at this level.
Nearly getting a hand on it.
Every ball is pressurised. Dennis
got one.
Marina will feel the pain of not controlling that one.
Great quick ball in, and that's what they need. Perhaps their feeds into the circle have been a little bit slow, allowing the Gibraltar defence to get there from position. So quick ball in has made all the difference for that one, and it's their centre pass.
So that's one of the 3 turnovers we talked about. 34-29.
Not able to capitalise on it though.
Out of court, unfortunately.
And it's these simple areas we've said. Netball is a fairly simple game if you do it right.
Don't make it too easy for yourselves, Gibraltar. It's great pressure by Isle of Man. They're having to work incredibly hard for every single ball.
Just a bit late there going in for the ball. Wing defence.
Sure, just slightly mistimed the ball.
I'd have put her down as my player of the match yesterday for Isle of Man. She was phenomenal.
Pozo. Lovely kind of arms at the end, as if whoosh,
not missing
in it goes.
You were a shooter, weren't you, in your time, Lynn?
A long time ago.
How has that changed then? Because the style's different. There was a big, I can't remember when it was, which decade it was, but there was definitely a change. That's good.
That hurt.
I didn't mean it like that. That came out all wrong.
Sorry. So
let's get back to this game, eh?
Focus on what is an amazing game. Last less than a minute now. 35 plays 29, 6 in it. 40 seconds on the clock. Ball being brought down here. Contact called. Goal defence just been spoken to by the umpire. And Pozo says thank you. Let's take that gap to 7 now. Will they recognise the timing? Will they be able to capitalise, get a shot off?
It's important they do, isn't it? They need to finish on a positive, and they do. That's great. I don't think we're going to see another goal this quarter.
We've got 12 seconds. The clock's counting down now. If they've got any sense, they'll get it in. Oh, it's one of those unforced errors.
Right, they're going to need. They haven't seen the clock.
So another really exciting quarter here in Gibraltar. We take to the 3/4 time bench with Gibraltar leading 36 goals to 30. The quarter scores there were 11-9, so again just 2 in it.
That's interesting, isn't it? Because was it 6-1 at one point?
It was 6-1 at one stage, and Isle of Man came very strongly back in that quarter. They're absolutely not giving up.
No, they're not. A couple of changes I think that are going to happen there by the looks of things. They're not giving up though, and that's quite a few unanswered goals then there must have been from Gibraltar. So Isle of Man on the ascension, and what are we seeing here?
They are, but each of the quarters has gone Gibraltar's favour by 2, which has given us 6 goals at this point. Really important at this stage of the game.
Really important now to know what are the coaches going to be saying and what are they doing. And off screen we can see someone warming up to shoot, who I don't think seen shoot this competition. So maybe some quite drastic changes.
That's Keeling.
It is, isn't
Katrina Keeling, who has played a very effective goalkeeper role in a number of the games for Isle of Man. Could she be about to go to the court down the other end?
It looks like that's possibly the change that they're making, and bibs are going on. I'm trying to see.
So let's have a look.
She's
Where
not
is
turning around? Yes, yeah.
Looks like it's the combination,
shooter.
new combination of Swales out at goal attack and Keeling in at goal shooter.
Well, we've not seen this, so no idea what to say. And there's obviously no previous footage. It's the first international for this squad, so she's popping them in fairly confidently. So from one end to the other, it's great, isn't it, to have that kind of depth in your squad that you can play either end. And she's a great target, isn't she, to be able to feed the ball into. And if she's used to going up for those rebounds, she'll be used to the ball coming in. She'll be fighting for that space. So this is potentially a very clever move from the Isle of Man coaching team.
So we're seeing less potential changes down the Gibraltar end. Again, probably not surprising. They're working really effectively as a 7 out on court.
They are. Those shooters are sitting down. They're getting a bit of feedback there from their attacking coach.
Farah looks so laid back, so calm.
She really does. Well, that's what you need, isn't it, as a shooter? Don't get
Absolutely.
hassled, just get the ball in and put it in. That's your job. So put the ball up, and she seems quite content with her performance so far, and let's see if she can continue that. So it's really Isle of Man who've got to come out with some changes now, isn't it? And they've obviously doing that in the changes that they've put onto their team. So let's see what that brings to them. I think we're nearly ready. Team chant.
Yep, we'll see the teams taking to the court. Last 15 minutes coming up. This is going to be an exciting game.
I get another one. I think I must have something to do with
We're
me being
repeating
here.
ourselves, aren't we now?
We could have written the script. Who could have written this though, eh? And Gibraltar, just amazing. Amazing performance in front of their home crowd.
Yeah, we'll hear the crowd giving them some support as the team take to the court. Umpires taking the correct amount of time. So just waiting for the official
bench. They're
nod on the time.
supported by Netball Scotland, which is that team buddying with Netball Scotland. They've been supporting them with this official bench. It's really great to see, isn't it, how amazing, all the things that you don't think about really for international competition that have to be put in place. It's a fantastic job by Gibraltar.
That's why we say it's the team behind the team which makes these international events work. And there's Keeling, as we said, out to Swales.
Yeah, and she's winning that rebound, and that's why they've put her there.
Great
Nervous
hands by
hands.
Gibraltar. Now, which of the teams are going to settle first?
Ooh. Looking for the contact call, none given. That was a clear contest for that space, I think, from both of them. Umpire having none of that, not being drawn in.
Nice
Look
play,
at that work.
patient by Gibraltar. Finds Pozo under the post. Great movement by her.
You got to say this Gibraltar, it's quite a young team, isn't it, the Gibraltar team? I think they've just got better and better through this competition, which just confirms how important it is to have these levels of games for the girls to be able to improve. Obviously, you're not going to have this on a monthly basis or just once a year. It's amazing to have this competition. An unusual shot there.
Unlucky, Pozo wasn't able to keep it in.
Yeah, obstruction calls. That allows Isle of Man to take it a bit further down.
So Shaw
Safe
will bring
ball.
it down. Long ball down, finding Johnson effectively.
That was
Great
a
ball into
lovely
Keeling.
ball in. Yes, right, she'll take confidence of that goal going in. That's brilliant, and her team will be pleased with that. Coming away with the ball again, their centre pass. A little bit of contact there. It's turned into quite a physical game, really, isn't it? And it's up to the umpires to make sure that it stays nice and clean, but there's a little bit more contest allowed that wasn't there previously.
Yes, indeed. So Swales will go again.
Yep.
So score now 5 in it. 37 Gibraltar, 32 Isle of Man.
So turnover ball is what they want.
So Gibraltar will very much want to score on their centre pass. Nice little fake drive along the baseline.
Yeah, I think Isle of Man defence just caught eyes down on the court a little bit. Just got to keep that chin up and watch for those little moves.
Great ball into Keeling. She's holding a great space.
She really is. That was a good decision, I think, from the coaching team there to put Keeling back into goal shooter.
And of course, when you are facing a new combination of shooters like that, it just takes a few minutes for the defenders to work out what they're going to do. Not seen this combination before.
Absolutely. And, you know, these teams will have been watching the games that have been happening, but they won't have seen Keeling like this. So it's obviously their secret weapon.
And Hall is so confident giving those long passes.
Yeah, and we see that lean from the Gibraltar keeper that we saw in our game. Keeling having none of it though, standing her ground, but they don't come away with the ball.
Captain of Gibraltar, Ravino, showing her experience. Nice interplay there by Akano and Marino. Long ball down.
Another obstruction call. So play without the ball obstruction is something the umpires are looking at. So this level of umpire looking off the ball, making sure that players have got that freedom of movement which is required in netball.
So that goal keeps the gap for Gibraltar at 6. Huge amounts of pressure. Great
Long
release
ball,
down the ball.
fantastic, and that's what you need. Centre going offside there. Yeah, umpire rightfully bringing it forward.
There's always debate about whether that's an advantage or disadvantage to the attacking team.
I agree. It's a hard one, isn't it? Yeah, good call there. Well done, Keeling, winning the ball. Yeah, you're right. I think pulling it back into the circle just to take one of your shooters out.
Oh, got to put them up. She does that time.
It's bouncing around that circle edge, but it's gone in, and that's all that counts, really, isn't it?
So 39-34. They're just going to want to keep the ball, make sure they score. They don't want to get distracted thinking they've got loads of time. 5 is not a huge lead, as we know. International sport. Oh, how did Farah hold on to that ball? Penalty pass or shot.
Yeah, just asking the keeper to move aside a bit so she's got room to shoot, and she does.
So nothing to choose between the teams in this quarter for all, but it means the gap remains 6 in Gibraltar's favour.
Yeah, they're not forcing the ball in.
So Keeling opting to feed out.
Oh, well held.
Swales did really well there.
She did, didn't she? Oh, well done. Great shot.
So just under 10 minutes here remaining.
So what we're looking at, a couple of turnovers.
That's all it is. The pressure will be on the minute Gibraltar throw away their centre pass. Which...
We're not going to jinx anything here, are we?
I think we should just stay silent, Suzanne, for the rest of this game.
Never. I don't think we've got that in us, have we?
Not when it's so close. So Isle of Man have a huge opportunity now to pull back within 4.
Oh, that was a confident ball, wasn't it?
Brilliant ball in to Keeling.
Yeah, sensibly letting Swales take that shot. Yeah. Okay, so let's go with centre pass.
So there's the first turnover converted. Their centre pass. Gibraltar really have to put some pressure back in here, and they do that brilliantly.
That was amazing.
What a great intercept by Ray, so timely. Competing for every single ball out there. Lovely ball.
Great ball. Confident hands from Keeling there.
And they'll take that one. So 40 against 37. Pressure now almost changed onto Gibraltar. They've got to score off their centre pass.
Great tip there by the keeper.
Swales back on now out at keeper, Storner on at goal defence for Gibraltar. For Isle of Man against
Isle of Man.
Look at that, competing for every single ball.
They really are, and they know how important it is, and they know that their lead isn't big enough to be complacent. They've got to keep going. But when you've got a shooter like that, Pozo, that is just phenomenal. Gibraltar are going to love you. Overnight star status, I think.
If she wasn't already. So 41-37. Oh!
And it goes Gibraltar's way, but they've got it back. Oh no.
Now who is going to settle here? We're just over 7 minutes remaining. Last quarter of the game. 4 goals in it. They still need to attack Gibraltar.
She fell over all by herself then. So this is where the international experience is going to pay off, isn't it? Being in this situation, I know there's 6 minutes to go, but nonetheless, it's the pressure is on, isn't it? You'll have your bench shouting at you and trying to remember everything that you need to remember when the opposition is scoring.
Absolutely, and that was a very big goal for Amy Pozo. Gibraltar 42, Isle of Man 37. Opportunity to widen the gap slightly here again, but won't do it with another unforced error.
Great ball down.
Nobody is giving an inch in this game. Great hold by Keeling.
Fabulous. She's made her presence felt in that circle, I think, since she's been on. What's the score for this half?
It is 8-6 in Isle of Man's favour. So the gap 4 could go further, close to 3.
Footwork. I thought it was going to be a short pass, but it was footwork first.
I don't think Gibraltar will mind what the call is.
As long as they've got possession, which they have. Called back there by for an obstruction.
So this game is certainly still not in the bag for either team. Nice play.
Oh, that was great hands by the keeper. I thought she got a hand to that cleanly, but didn't actually manage to keep control.
So Pozo will say thank you.
I can't wait to see the shooting stats for this Gibraltar team, you know.
But we'll have to be prepared if the game goes Gibraltar's way for an extremely loud stadium here.
I think we shall.
Oh, they're not making it easy. 5 minutes to go. Mistake under.
Isle of Man just can't afford these mistakes at this point of the game, and I think this is where great tip there. But this is where the experience counts, and these girls should be incredibly proud of themselves, having come here and performed at such a high level. Against ranked teams. These teams aren't ranked at all. Look what they're forcing the ball back, making Gibraltar work really hard.
Gibraltar currently ranked 31 in the world. Umpire not seeing anything wrong with that one. So still 5 in it, still 4.5 minutes to go, still only 3 turnovers between these two teams.
Just making it sound so easy.
And that was really great positioning by Zaina Reyes.
And you can
so critical.
The crowd love it.
Absolutely.
They're playing very sensible netball, aren't they? Really controlling the ball, not frightened to go back, playing a game of possession, which is what they need to do. They've got the lead, they just need to keep it.
Keep looking down, looking for the right time to bring the ball forward, keeping possession. Taking their time.
Yeah, and that's, for the opposition, that's really frustrating, isn't it?
There's literally nothing you can do about it. Oh.
Okay, so can they make a goal out of this one?
So Isle of Man with 3.5 minutes on the clock. Is the time running away from them slightly? Unfortunate there, Kano.
Well, we've seen how these things can change and how you can get, 3 on the run, and we've seen Isle of Man do that. That's a nice roll off there by Swales.
And that could be a costly miss. Gibraltar should just take their time. Who is going to hold their nerve in this game?
Like you say, nothing that you can do about that. Players keeping possession, nice and safe, run down the clock.
So they are doing that very well indeed. But get it down for an opportunity. So second one on the trot that they haven't capitalised on their turnovers from, but 43 playing 38, 2.5 minutes to go. Is this too big an ask now for the Isle of Man?
Oh, you just don't know. 2.5 minutes. You know, look at how quickly that ball can go down and get a goal. It's confidence, isn't it? And on their centre pass, if they can make it 2, play it safe.
4 goals only in it. Keeping our eye on the clock. As you say, 2 minutes is a long time in international netball.
2 goals on the trot. So now they need to turn this ball. This is really crucial. So and the crowd helping Gibraltar.
Do. They can't just keep possession. They've got to go for goal. Nice.
Again,
defenders doing everything they possibly can. Storner and Swells working so hard in that circle. Will Pozo get it in? No, she won't.
Okay, so this could be the turnover. Umpire very sensibly calling time for that loose ball because she'll appreciate that every second counts.
So, O'Connor going for everything.
You would though, wouldn't you? And they can see
oh my goodness,
that
this game
was a good
is
shot.
not over yet by any stretch of the imagination. 2 goals in it. Isle of Man trailing 41-43, but their centre pass. Everybody.
Too much time to do this. Everyone's on their feet in the crowds. They've got to get that ball in.
Oh, great ball, and it's going to go. Oh,
yes.
Healing.
And she gets
so one goal in this game. 43, 42. Gibraltar have to keep this game. They have to get
they're going to have a chip
into
at
the
everything.
circle.
Come on, Isle of Man.
Isle of Man are going to be all over this
it.
like a rash. Oh my goodness, they've got to go down. They've got to get the ball down.
These 2 tiny islands up against it. A little bit late on that, but time called there.
30 seconds on the clock.
I've actually got tears in my eyes. This is so emotional.
I don't think I can stand another game like this. Oh my goodness. There is just not enough credit given to these teams in the world for how they can play netball.
Absolutely amazing. 10 seconds. Gibraltar knew what they're doing.
15 on the clock.
15
on the clock. Down to the last 10. Oh my goodness. Come on. Who is going to blink first?
Gibraltar bench are up on their feet.
Gibraltar bench are jumping up and down. Who is going to win this game? And oh my goodness. What a game. Isle of Man are going to be absolutely gutted. But what a performance by hosts and home country Gibraltar, taking this win, 43 goals to 42. Suzanne, speechless.
For once, yes, that is amazing, and the crowd rightfully appreciating that. Not a dry eye in the house. Those coaches elated, and yeah, disappointed faces on those Isle of Man girls. But you know, 2 tiny islands competing at this level, 1 goal in it. You know, they're self-funded pretty much, these girls. That's really important to note. They don't have massive sponsorships. I know that the Isle of Man have got the Hooded Ram that sponsor their kit, but otherwise the girls paying for this, and I think Gibraltar pretty much the same thing. Look at that.
And I dare anybody who's watched the netball this weekend not to value the teams that are not in the top 15 in the world. It just shows how much untapped potential we have as a netball world, and we must all do more to promote our sport and to give these teams competition and opportunity.
Absolutely, and you know, if this isn't spectacle enough of women in sport, I don't know what is. If you're a brand out there, you want to get your brand.
Visionary ball there by Marino, and this time it will fall. A really good strong reach on her, but Pozo will say for blindside there into Ferrer. Oh, good rebound by Cassidy.
And they've got
interchange by the 2 shooters. And Pozo.
They're getting the job done. Feed.
Oh, that was an amazing gap.
Yeah, they're going to have to do some great quick ball in, and that's what they need. Perhaps their feeds into the circle have been a little bit slow, allowing the she was phenomenal.
Pozo, nice
Look
play,
at that work.
Patient by Gibraltar, finds Pozo under the post. Great ball into Keeling. She's holding a great space.
She really is. That was a good decision, I think. Well held.
Swales did really well there.
She did, didn't she? Oh, well done. Great shot. The lead isn't big enough to be complacent. They've got to keep going. But when you've got a shooter like that,
It's giving an inch in this game. Great hold by Keeling.
fabulous. She's
So-
made her. Oh, you just don't know. 2.5 minutes. You know, look at how quickly that. You would, though, wouldn't you?
Great.
And they can see.
Oh my goodness,
that
this
was
game
a good
is
shot.
not-
Showcase game. Home nation winning. Fantastic. Well done, Gibraltar.
Well, if you have enjoyed that, please don't go too far away. We're going to bring you another exciting game starting here at 6 o'clock between Ireland and UAE, and I can guarantee that will be another very exciting 1 hour of netball. And tune in to hear from the captains of both sides shortly. But for the first game of day 3 here in Gibraltar, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed it. Another end-to-end exciting game of netball. Please come back and join us shortly to see UAE take on Ireland in another epic battle here in Gibraltar at the Netball Europe Open. See you later. Have a good evening.